Alex Pereira, you said you want to box. I'm the king of this. I'm the king of this. Come over. We can make it happen. I want you, Alex Pereira.
You want the UFC light heavyweight champion, Alex Pereira?
Indeed. Indeed.
So before I give my opinion on Jake Paul, before I give my thoughts on Jake Paul and his fight, a huge congratulations to him on his fight, on his victory, and on his performance and on his stoppage. No matter what I say or no matter what anybody else says, Jake Paul has already won in life. He's bringing his own audience, his own eyes. He's making millions of dollars. He has his own endorsement brands. He has his own companies. He's making millions and millions of dollars, and he has already won in life. But my personal opinion and my own thoughts, Jake has a goal, right? He has a boxing goal. He wants to be a world champion one day. He wants to fight Canelo Alvarez, and he wants to fight the top guys in the sport of boxing.
I want Canelo. I want all the biggest names. Like I said, I'm the face of this sport.
That's not going to happen as long as Jake Paul continues to get the experience from UFC fighters slash MMA fighters or retired from that side of the sport. Like, he's only going to get that type of experience, and I think that's going to be his downfall, and I think that's going to be his setback. Yes, it is experience, but it is not boxing experience, and I've always stood on this. He's always going to get UFC, he's always going to get MMA, and he's always going to get retired experience until he really actually decides to step that foot inside the door where he has someone who has that boxing experience, who has that somewhat of a good resume, who is trying to build their own resume, such as Jake Paul, who's trying to get that top competition. That's what Jake Paul needs to do if he wants to set those future goals for himself, for possibly, I'm not saying that's 100%, but possibly for a Canelo Alvarez fight, or a top name fight, or a top contender fight. I think that's going to be Jake's downfall, and this is my personal opinion. I think Jake and Dana White, obviously they've hadn't have the best words about each other, and I really think they're in this like headbutting situation where they have a grudge against each other, and Jake wants to continue to prove Dana White wrong by beating his top fighters, and I think they're in this weird debate and weird challenge with each other where Jake is going to continue to beat Dana White's fighters, and I think that's where Jake's head is right now.
Will Dana let him out? That's too big of a risk if I could embarrass his #1 praised fighter right now.
But as long as he continues to do that, he's not going to get the experience that he needs for his goals in boxing, because MMA can only take you really so far. That talent can really only take you so far because they train in a bunch of different categories, not just boxing. So I think, and Jake, if you look at Jake's game from when he started, from where he's at now, his game has really developed into something special. I'm not saying top contender special, I'm not saying championship level type special, but his game has improved very, very well, and we have to give him credit for that. But let me know what you guys think about the whole Jake Paul and Dana White, and Jake Paul just wanting to be all Dana White's fighters because they're into a disagreeing type moment here. I think that's where Jake's mind is really at as of right now. But as long as Jake continues to fight retired MMA fighters or retired UFC fighters, he's going to continue to get that type of experience, and I think that's going to be his downfall, as I said. Let me know what you guys think about Jake Paul's situation. Like I said, no matter what I said, no matter what anybody else said, he's already won in life. He's making millions of dollars. He has his own companies and his own endorsements, and hopefully he's bringing new audience and new eyes to the sport who can really learn about the sport, really learn about these weight classes and these fighters inside those weight classes, where we can help the sport grow really in a great way that the sport, I think, somewhat needs. And let me know what you guys think about Jake Paul not fighting these boxers who have the resume, who have the experience, such as even Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury was just a fair, alright, decent fighter, and he came up short, and it showed that once you step in there with a real fighter, you got tested and you came up short. But I think that's what Jake Paul needs to do. He needs to test himself and needs to see where he established exactly in the sport of boxing, where he ranks, and he needs that experience if he wants to set those future goals. Let me know what you guys think about this whole Jake Paul situation, UFC, MMA, and this boxing situation, and making and paving really his own way into the sport. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.